Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I am currently driving through the town of Elba, Alabama. That is spelled E-L-B-A, Elba, Alabama. Somebody let me know in the comment section of the proper way to pronounce this town if I'm butchering the name. Well, anyhow, this town has got a population of 3,919 people. The population here has been declining at a rate of 2.1% as of the 2020 census. The population density is 256 people, and the median home price, well, I thought I wrote it down. My apologies, I didn't write down the median home price, but I will tell you guys off the top of my head that if you're looking to buy a home around this community that's in half decent shape, in a half decent part of this town, move-in ready. I mean, from what I was able to see on the MLS, I would say expect to spend $85,000. Now, this town has got a history of floods. Let me get the sun out of your eyes. Yeah, this town has got a history of floods. And when I say floods, I'm talking about major floods. I'm talking about floods that damn near took this town. Now, ever since the 1930s, when I guess was the time when this community began to record the floods, at least all the major ones. During the look at my notes here. There were two major floods during the 1930s. And then there was another flood in 1959, another one in 1975, then another one in 1990, then another one in 1994, and the latest one that they have recorded took place in 1998. So yeah, this town has got a lengthy history of floods. So if you're in the market to purchase a home and for some reason you want to move to this community, that's something that you might want to bear in mind. I mean, there appears to be a lot of low-lying areas around here. Now, what I'm driving through is this is Kendrick's housing community here in Elba, Alabama. I'm assuming that was a low-income housing community that I just got done driving through. I wasn't meaning to drive through the community, but there is a car behind me and I want to be holding them up. And despite how small this community is, I mean, there's a few amenities here. I mean, they have at least some of your chain restaurants here. And I just drove by a grocery store. I can't make out what it's called. It's Ego something. I mean, I didn't get to see exactly what the name of the store was, but if you move to this community, just know that there is a grocery store in this community. Now, one thing I will say about many of these smaller communities is if you have a decent mode of transportation, I would go ahead and drive the 20 minutes to half hour to a slightly larger community, a community where there's Walmart. Now, here in Elba, Alabama, I mean, now here in Elba, Alabama, I want to say that you're going to be about a half hour, give or take, from Troy, Alabama, which Troy, Alabama is a much larger community than this one. The population of Troy, Alabama is a little over 18,000 people and growing. The fastest growing city in the state of Alabama, which I will do a video of eventually. So for larger communities that are within, I'll just say 45 minutes of here, you have Troy, Alabama. Because in a lot of these smaller communities, the grocery store, I mean, for one, your selections are gonna be limited, and for two, your prices are gonna typically be higher. So when you go grocery shopping in a lot of these smaller communities, bear that in mind. Now, the grocery store that's here in Elba, if anybody knows what that store is called, leave a comment below. But generally speaking, prices in communities like this for groceries are going to be a little higher. So I don't know if that's the case here in the Elba or not. But if it is, it's going to be worth that half-hour drive or so to Troy to do your grocery shopping. Because you go to Troy, you got Walmart. And I believe in Troy they also have an Aldi's. But I know for a fact they got Walmart. In another community that you can go to that's not too far from here, another community that you can go to is Enterprise, Alabama. Now, Enterprise, Alabama is about 20 to 25 minutes, give or take, away from here. So for larger communities that are close to here, that are not too far from here, you got Troy, Alabama. You also have Enterprise, Alabama. And as you guys can probably guess, this is the downtown area of Elba, Alabama. And it looks like the community is making some effort in fixing up this town. I gotta say, one thing that I like about Southern Alabama, other than the fact that the winters down here are extra mild with little to no snow, is depending on what part of Southern Alabama you're in, within a couple of hours of any of these communities, you'll be able to get to the ocean, whether it be Mobile, Alabama, or it be somewhere in the Panhandle of Florida. So that's another thing I like about Southern Alabama, is how close this part of Alabama is to the oceans of the Panhandle of Florida. Now, granted, the Panhandle of Florida may not have as good of beaches compared to, let's say, the middle part or the southern part of Florida, but my thing is, if you're living in this part of Alabama and maybe you might be on somewhat of a budget, or you got a lot going on, and the amount of time that you have to travel and enjoy yourself might be limited. So my thing is, if you can make it to the ocean, for those of you that are into going to the ocean, my thing is, if you live around here and you're within a couple of hours from the ocean, to me that's a convenience. Because at home in Indiana, obviously the closest, and I guess it depends on what you're looking for too. Not everybody is into going to the ocean. Not everyone cares about going to the beach. Now, to me, there's a difference between going to the ocean in Mobile, Alabama, or there's a difference between going to the beaches of Florida versus going to, let's say, the beaches of one of the Great Lakes. Now, if I was in Indiana, during the summertime, yeah, if I wanted to go to the beach, if I was in Indiana, I can drive up to Fort Wayne and go to the beach in Fort Wayne. But to me, there's a difference between going to the beach in Fort Wayne and going to the beach down in Florida. I gotta say, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Georgiana, Alabama, except a little bigger. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Georgiana, except a little bigger. Up in front of me, I have a school. There's a school building that is, of course, not in operation. Yeah, this reminds me of Georgiana, Alabama all day, except a little bigger. Well, you got some. Well, here's a community where the houses are in much better shape. Yeah, that grocery store that I was talking about earlier is called a Food Giant. It's called Food Giant. I drove down this area earlier in the video, so I'm gonna go the other way. And just as a side note, there are a couple of nicer communities in this town. But due to the sake of timing, I'm gonna have to end this video pretty soon. But just to be fair to this town, there are areas of this town to where the neighborhoods are a little better kept, and the houses are in slightly better shape and a little newer compared to the houses around here. So just to be fair, if for any reason anybody's watching this video may want to move here, bear that in mind. I want to be as fair as possible here. Alright folks, I'm going to end it right here, and I'm going to do a part 2. So I will see you guys on the next video. Everybody have a blessed one. You guys know what to do by now.